Hi, I'm recording this video on top of Peak Above the Nubble. Quite a name for a mountain. It's in New Hampshire, and as you can see, it's a spectacular day, and I have amazing views. I hope you could see some of them. I'll share. I hope you could see, and then here's to the other side of me. A spectacular day. And luckily I've had the mountain mostly to myself today, and I do like coming out and hiking by myself. I know being a woman by myself, I catch a lot of slack for coming out here, but I've been doing it for years, and I make sure to be safe, and the solitude is important for me to have from time to time to reflect, and so today has been an important time of reflection for me. This hike is short, but it's very steep. So like in a mile and a half, you climb 2,000 feet, and so that's quite a bit. And so right away, I was feeling tired, and I haven't been hiking as much recently because I've been working on achieving my goal of going full time into my business. And, currently I work a full-time job, and I'm growing my business, and that's on top of having, relationships and home to take care of and all of these things. And when I was prioritizing and looking at, this next stage of my life that heading into, I had to really reflect on where was this extra time going to come from to be able to grow my business to the next level. And I know that I'm not going to take it from my sleep. I'm very protective of my sleep, and I know that I'm not able to be 100% particularly creative when I'm tired. And so I knew it wasn't going to come from my sleep, so I was like, okay, where's that extra time going to come from? And I decided that it was going to come from the mountains. And some people may be like, oh no, the mountains have been so important to you. Yes, they have been, but I'm also entering a new stage of my life, and I want the mountains to be a part of it, but it's not, the mountains are not the only part of the next stage of my journey. And so I had to decide a few months ago what was going to give, and I chose that, again, the mountains were going to give. And because not only does hiking the mountain itself take a lot of time, but also the drive to and from the mountain takes a lot of time. And so in the beginning of the hike was getting very discouraged with myself about, how I had regressed as far as my endurance and strength, um, and yeah, there were things that I could have been doing more to keep up my strength and endurance between hikes. And I hadn't been, I've been diving, full force into my business. And so in the beginning I was really hard on myself, and the hike started out not so great. And then I had to really remind myself why I chose to let the mountains go a little, and what I was working toward and what I was aiming for. And and that made me start feeling better. It reminded me of my greater, sorry, I have a little bee keeps landing on me. It was like, I don't want to get stung. So I had to remind myself that I'm on a mission right now, and in order to achieve the mission I'm on, again, something had to give. There's only, so many hours in a day, and just because I'm pursuing a new goal doesn't mean there's going to be more hours for me. So every time you say yes to one thing, you're automatically saying no to another. So in order for me to say yes to my dream of, taking charge of my days and my schedule and where I work and when I work, I had to let go of something, at least for the time being, and I chose the mountains. And so I had to remind myself to be patient with myself today, and it ended up being okay. Like now I'm feeling great, and as I was reaffirming for myself, why I've been stepping away from the mountains, and the progress I've been making on my business, and how it's been paying off. I started to feel better. And so I'm coming on today to, to remind you to be patient with yourself, regardless of what journey you're on, whether it's you just trying to figure out how to, sorry, I've got all sorts of bugs on me. Um, a few of them are biting me. So I'm like, oh, some of the little ones are biting me. um, sorry, I'm getting very distracted. So when, regardless of whether your goal is to just work on surviving and getting from one day to the next, or whether it's to find a new job or go back to school or a new relationship or build a business or whatever your goal is, there's going to be roadblocks, and there's going to be times where you sidestep and you step backwards, and sometimes where you have to put things aside that you enjoy for the time being while you get another aspect of your life in order, and then you can resume previous activities. And this, we understand that this happens with certain things. We understand that when you go back to school and when you have a child and when you start a business, there are going to be sacrifices that need to be made. But there's actually sacrifices that need to be made with any kind of goal that you're aiming to achieve. And so, that's why it's really important when you're pursuing a new goal that you evaluate. And it's why I have all my clients evaluate their life and all areas of it, and decide when they're pursuing something new, like what is going to give? What are they going to have to say no to in order to say yes to their new goal, and to reaffirm to themselves why saying no to that thing is important. And so today, when I was struggling on the hike today, I had to reaffirm, why I've been saying no to hiking. And it was to reach my greater, vision I have for my life, and my mission in life and my purpose in life is tied to my business. And as much as I love the mountains, they're not going to directly get me to fulfilling my greater life's purpose. And so these are things I had to remind myself of, and the reminder was good. And I think I needed today, and particularly the solitude, to have these reminders. And then I get this beautiful payoff one more time of this spectacular view. And I'm just feeling very grateful and very blessed for all I have in my life, and the opportunity to be up here and having this time to reflect, and also have this opportunity to share my bits of reflection with you without interruption. That is a beautiful thing about climbing mountains that not a lot of people like to do, is that you get some time to yourself, and that's important in the world we live in today, with our phones always sending off notifications and always having music or sound on, or the news on, or TV just always having noise. It's good every once in a while to step away and just be in quiet, and have the only noise be the wind blowing in the trees and birds chirping and little critters skittering across the ground. I mean, these are sounds, different kind of sound, and it lends itself to a different kind of introspection, which I enjoy very much. So, feeling grateful for this opportunity today, and and I hope today you find something to be grateful for, and you're able to also reaffirm why you're on the mission you're on, or why you should get back on track if you've fallen off course. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.